vehicle and ticket registration. Yeah.
A message from the Ministry of Transport. Man, it's exhausting, bro. Every time you recharge, every time you buy credits and put in your phone, you're not able to use it because the network codes will drop. I don't know what to do, bro. Telephone companies just keep taking our money and not offering us good services. This thing is exhausting, bro. Man, there's nobody to talk to, nobody to stand up for us. I don't know what to do, bro.
Come on, buddy. Haven't you heard about the Liberia Telecommunication Authority, LTA?
What's the LTA, bro?
The LTA is responsible to control the communication sector of this country. The Liberia Telecommunication Authority signs a new law which says if an individual or consumer has a problem with their service provider, he or she must be able to contact their service provider. Failure on the part of the service provider to adhere to their concern, the consumer should be able to raise their concern to the LTA by calling 2244 because quality of service is the right of the consumer.
And message is the Liberia Telecommunication Authority.
Okay, folks, it's good that we are back here this morning to continue the Punch Breakfast Show on Punch FM 106.7. Harris Betty and I, Boakai Amara Kamara, pretty seated here for you on a bright Monday morning, and we are pleased to have with us this morning the Senator of Mosurado County, Abe Darius. That's Mr. Abe Darius Dillon. He's here with us this morning to share breakfast, and it's gonna be a fascinating discussion. Ranging, yeah, my focus will be on the Liberty Party. Well, it's good to have him this morning, Harris.
Yeah, Boakai, like you place it, Senator Abe Darius Dillon has joined us on this conversation. A lot to talk about across national issues, and as well as the party. Mind you, the Liberty Party says it is back, and this time around as a unified political group. We hope that works out for them. But it's good to be on, and yeah, we got to get started. I hope our guys are up as well, and then we move on. Folks, thanks so kindly to the Punch Breakfast Show on the Monday's edition. We've been joined by Senator Abe Darius Dillon. A pleasant way to welcome you, Senator. Good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning, Boakai. Harry. I'm here there for
It's good to
Let
have
me say
you.
good morning to your listeners on Prime FM in the morning, and good day to our viewers on the social media. And I want to give credit to Today Liberia and
A lot of other
Punch
TV reporters.
Report 231.
And Punch TV and all of these media outlets that carrying this broadcast this morning. I want to say thank you, and I'm happy to be here. Since you moved from the first location, I'm just stopping by. But you look good. You guys look good.
Thanks so kindly. Health-wise, how are you this morning?
No, God is good, as you can see. I look fresh. Look good.
Very fresh.
Yeah, physically I'm okay. But you know, we can kill her anytime we go ready, we can lead her.
Okay, so how is Mosurado County? I'm asking you openly because I do live here and see the interaction with you and the citizen. But let me just ask you this: how is Mosurado County?
Well, Mosurado County, like Liberia, we are trying, and we will not rest until we get there. As long as we live, we'll try to do our best to try to make a difference every day in the life of our country and in the life of our people. It is a tough call, especially in a country that is highly politically charged, politically polarized. Everybody has practically taken sides. Who can blame the people? It is the way the politics is. But under the circumstances, Mosurado County is trying. The Minister of Public Works is on the roads. Water and sewer is in the field. Fire service is procuring trucks. They are intervening more than before when it came to, or when it comes to fire intervention. And a lot is going on. A lot more needs to be done. Yeah.
And Boakai, this brings me to a point. A lot of time, you politicians have made the people accustomed to this belief that your responsibilities go beyond the lawmaking and the representation. Sometimes it was on project developments and what have you. I must admit, the rehab that you have currently ongoing is one of the initiatives benefiting not just Mosorado but across citizens from different counties. But I'm concerned, aside from the rehab that you have currently running, what other initiatives that Senator Dillon has that have that directly connects him with the people in terms of perhaps developments across Mosorado County?
You see, some people may not like the answer, but it's good to just say it as it is. The rehab center, which is a passion of my heart, is something that not just we are doing, but it is being partly supported by few friends, home and abroad, in addition to my monthly salary that I commit at the rehab center. From time to time, I have repeatedly said, and even during my campaign, I made it very, very emphatically clear to the people. The role of lawmaker is not to build roads. The role of lawmaker is not to build schools and clinics. The role of lawmaker is not to pay civil servants. The role of lawmaker is to ensure through budgetary appropriation and oversight over the budget to ensure that these goods and services, these basic services are provided to the people. During my campaign, I went across this county. My 2 campaigns, there were places I went where the people asked me to fix their road, and I told them no. Because during campaign, if you fix people's road, you promise people you will fix their road when you get elected, they will hold you accountable to that. If you commit to the people that you will ensure that the roads are fixed, that running water can come to their communities, that fire service can be vibrant, to fight fire or prevent it. And electricity can come to the community through your oversight, through your budgetary appropriation. Then you are doing your work. When you see the Liberian people asking lawmakers to do their roads, it's because of the way lawmakers can campaign. A lawmaker is living in a community with a minister of public works and the road is not good. The people go to the lawmaker house. They don't go to the public works minister house.
Yeah.
The people live in a community with the chief justice or the finance minister and no running water in the area. They don't go to those people. They go to the lawmakers. The people have reasons to go to the lawmakers because the lawmakers is supposed to speak for them, represent their interests, and ensure that those things go there. But when you see some people go to the lawmaker, they go to the lawmaker for the lawmaker to come do the road because of the way people campaign across the country. And if we don't stop that, it will continue. The executive branch, headed by the president, is the authority, it's the branch of government that is supposed to ensure, that is supposed to make roads, build schools, hospitals, electricity, water, and the well-being of the people. The legislators are supposed to ensure. Once we drop the ball on ensuring and wanting and expected to do it ourselves, we become failure. Because the way governments run, lawmakers don't have control over the expenditure of government money. lawmakers have oversight over how government money is spent or should be spent by the executive. You see, that what the budget is such that I like to simplify. The executive can cook the food. Does the draft budget. When they send it to the legislature, in a big top, and send small bowl and plates and dishes. It is the legislators or legislature as a branch that is supposed to divide, and the food from in the big bowl to the small dishes. It is the legislature that's supposed to decide the quantity of food that is supposed to get in a bowl or in a plate. When you put it in the different dishes, then you give it back to the executive to go share it to the people. Now, if you put 10 spoons in one plate or in one bowl, and the legislature went and the executive did not carry that bowl to that particular place or that particular group, and 5 cold spoons were shot from in that 10 cold spoon bowl. Then the legislature asked question. We put 10 cold spoons of food in this plate. How did it turn to 5? That's where our oversight responsibility. Because when we put 10 cold spoons in a plate for one hospital, for instance, and that hospital didn't get the 10 cold spoons of food, then we ask questions. If the hospital got the 10 cold spoons of food, but the hospital still the same and the patient can't improve, nothing can improve there, then we demand accountability from the hospital through the institution responsible, like the Ministry of Health. You understand? Once we drop the ball on our own role, the people put the entire government function on the legislators. And the legislators, generally, we have brought it upon ourselves. And for me, sometimes people say, oh, Dillon, you mean, you this, you that. I'm able to get up every morning and be dividing money that I don't have. So if dividing money makes me a good lawmaker, then maybe the left boss. But to stand up for the people, stand up in the legislature and say, Mr. President, Madam Minister, Mr. Minister, this is wrong. Change it. Do it this way. This is how it's supposed to be. Then I believe I'm a good lawmaker, especially if my voice can change things, can make things happen. That's the function, that should be the function and the role of the legislature. How come on earth we can be plenty in number to vote yes to pass budget? Then sometimes I see number can be there to hold people accountable for how the budget is utilized. As a result, the people look at the legislature.
So what's leading to this? Is it that there is some kickbacks when it comes to saying yes to certain things, and then when it comes to holding people accountable for the things that they need to do as officials of government, and we can see those lawmakers there. What's happening between them?
So it takes courage. First, Lord, let me tell you something. To be a lawmaker, don't let nobody petition you. It's not somebody petition you to go do work. You say, oh, I was saying that the pulpit. Yourself don't want it. Once you want to do something with your heart and passion, you will fight to see that thing done. Once you desire to do it, I see people sponsor petition, people. Look, let me tell you something. Once you desire to do it, you pray to God. Say, I want to do that thing here. I want to see something change. You tell you just seriously. It takes discipline too. It takes love for people, love for country, desire to see change. I went to the Senate. I said I was going to open a place. And all the noise in the legislature today from the legislature by the people seeing now, that is why the things they see that they don't like, they vex. Rightfully too. The things they see now that they never used to see before, they vex Sometimes you can get vexed with something because you understand,
Yeah.
right? But when you get understanding of why something is happening or why something should happen, and if it makes sense with you, you can agree with it and you will fuck and you go along. If you see something that was hidden for you for almost forever, and you start to see it, you don't like it, you understand it, you still don't like it, it made you angry. The people who doing those things that you seeing now because they're working for you, the people must change those things. Because who are we serving? The people. The people. So at the legislature, it takes plenty of people to agree on something before something happens. In the executive, it takes only one person to decide. If you look at the Constitution, Article 50 of the Constitution, the executive branch of government, very powerful. It's only one person. Article 50 of the Constitution says the executive power of the republic shall be vested in the president, who shall be head of state, head of government, and commander-in-chief. Article 29 of the Constitution says the legislative power of the republic shall be vested in the legislature. You see the difference? In the legislature, meaning the power of the legislative power of the republic is vested in an institution they call the legislature. A majority of the members in that legislature must agree before power move on it. One lawmaker, whether it is Darius Dillon, whether it is any other lawmaker, you can huff and puff all day. If you can't convince your colleagues, or your colleagues don't want to listen to you, or they see it differently, the only thing you will do, you explain yourself, you will stand your ground, but the majority will carry the day. The same way with Article 65 of the Constitution. It says the judicial powers of the republic shall be vested in the Supreme Court, not in the Chief Justice. The judicial powers of the republic shall be vested in the Supreme Court. 5 members on the bench, 3 must agree. 3 minimum must agree before any opinion or ruling becomes binding on the country. So you see how Article 50 makes the president powerful. That is why people in the executive are critical rights under the Constitution serve at the pleasure of the president. If the president tells you to go do something, you don't do it, he can fire you. No question. If we talk of vote, if we wanted to do something in the legislature, you got to convince plenty of people before power move forward. So when you see something and the people crying for something, and plenty of people in the legislature, you see it as the people crying for it.
Another side of the conversation, Senator, has been that why it's true that we say the presidency or the president or the executive branch determines the expenditure of the country as per your analysis. It is also important we consider that that determination must be satisfied by the legislators.
Correct.
So
Correct.
in this case, a lot of Liberians, the reason why the people run to you, the president has the authority to appoint ministers and dismiss them at their will and pleasure,
Right.
which means that they work and function in what the direction or the vision of the president.
Right.
But you lawmakers have the authority from time to time to call that minister that should work at the will and pleasure of the president,
Yes.
and ask him and direct him
Yeah.
in terms of things that he needs to do.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of Liberians have an objection and believe that the legislature is the problem in this country, because you are the only branch of government that has the authority, that someone that works in the will and pleasure of the president, you have a way to question it
Yes.
and direct their affairs. Is it
Yes.
true that the legislature is the problem in this country?
The legislature is part of the problem in the country.
It's part of the problem.
Of course. All 3 branches are part of the problem in the country. The legislature has its share of the blame. Why you will pass budget? You gave JFK $9 million and $10 parasitic money down there, and you can do nothing as a legislative body. You can get angry, righteously angry. Why you will pass budget? And education ministry got $111 million in the budget. and $10 crayon is not in a public school.
And the students are still sitting on the floors.
Why you wanna get angry as a majority? When will we in majority really get angry? Some of the things I can be fighting for over there, yeah, all we talking about program-based budget, itemized budget. Program-based budget is for the government to say the program of the country, of the government for the year, through the budget. So agriculture could be a program, school feeding could be a program, giving loan to market women or market people, small, medium size business could be a program. So that each program or a rehabilitation to fight drug, a program,
could be a
right?
program.
So that program has budget. If you say you're doing GS in public schools, it's a program. You put $2 million in a budget, for instance, for that program. The itemized aspect of that program is tell us how many armchairs $2 million can procure. When you tell us, say, 50,000 armchairs can come from $2 million, you are itemizing the program budget. You understand? Now, when you tell us 50,000 armchairs will be procured out of $2 million, and out of the 50,000 armchairs, 1,000 will go to Peaceville Community High School. 500 will go to the other public schools. In each county and in each district, now you have itemized the budget. It is easily trackable for accountability. So at the middle of the year or at the end of the year, it's easy to ask Peaceville Community High School, Peaceville High School, if they receive 1,000 armchairs this year from the Ministry of Education. If they didn't, then you ask the Ministry of Education as a legislator or legislature. We put $2 million in the budget for armchairs. You said 15,000 armchairs who have been procured. Out of the 50,000 armchairs, Peaceville High School who have gotten 1,000, Tubman High 5,000, D2, and and across the country. But we in the middle of the budget year, or the budget year is ending, Peaceville High School has not received 1,000 armchairs. You see, they're easily trackable. But when you get a budget that's just doling out bulk figures, and no breakdown. So, on this year budget 2025, first time on this rescue mission budget 2025, JFK got 9 million. Last year on a rescue mission, JFK budget came to 7 million, right? A $10 paracetamol was not at JFK last year. Nobody asked for what they're doing with the 7 million. Even though in the 7 million,
no allotment for
salary and administrative costs, everything in it. But there's provision for medicine, for drugs. But then nobody asked. They gave you a whole $7 million. Why $10 paracetamol is not at JFK? Why CT scan machine is not up and running at JFK? What are you doing with the money? We're supposed to be asking this question. When we dole all these bulk figures and then the people are not receiving the services, they are right and justified to beat on us because they're not asking us to go buy the paracetamol in JFK. They're asking us to ensure that paracetamol is in JFK. What do we do to a fire service director? About 2 months ago, we summoned the fire service, about 2-3 months ago, we summoned the fire service director and challenged him because for the first time, fire service budget came from under 2 million from the last 6 years to over 4 million last year. And we deliberately appropriated 2 million deliberately to buy fire trucks and other firefighters equipment and materials. So righteous anger came over some of us, in fact led by me, when I pushed it in the Senate to ask the fire service director, we gave you 4 million last year. Houses burning, no intervention. The people think we get here for ourselves. What going on? The first thing, the 4 million we put in the budget on paper that projection. Did you receive 4 million? He said yes. I think some of you follow.
Yeah.
He said if you receive 4 million, 2 million out of 4 million is for you to run fire service, pay staff, recruit people. 2 million is to procure firefighter equipment. And he couldn't justify why no fire service equipment. But I think interestingly, in less than 2-3 weeks, I think you saw a fire truck and ambulance, they started parading. You understand? Now, you see, that's what they call oversight. When you in majority, you see the Senate was charged that day. Everybody has shown some righteous indignation toward that, and they procured the fire truck. It will continue like that. It will continue like that to hold the executive accountable. A lot of things will change. The people will be happy with the lawmakers. As at now, once the executive didn't do their work, the people will beat on the legislators and the legislature, and the people will be justified doing so.
Yeah, so are there plans from your office specifically? I'm asking you this question because you're serving the people of Moserado County. You talk about funds being allocated for institutions. Let's go down to schools like the Pinsville Community Schools, the Special Project, and other schools across Moserado County.
Right.
If there are funds made available for them for armchairs, for chalkboards and other things being placed in the budget, and they are not receiving, are there plans from your office to start going down to the schools, the hospitals, the clinics to find out that, oh, we allocated this amount of money for this institution, and we are here to make a follow-up on if this specific institution receives self-funding. If yes, where are the things that we allocated this amount of money for? Are there plans from your office to start this?
The Moserado County Legislative Caucus, we started a new thing, especially under this administration. The caucus, we decided that the representatives in each of the districts will be more involved, and we, the senators, will provide advice and oversight. So that the caucus meet regularly. In fact, we're doing rotational meetings at our various homes, so we can build relationship and confidence with one another. We've had several meetings at my house with all of the lawmakers from opposition, in position, ruling position, everybody there. We've had meeting to Representative Foko, Frank Foko's house. We had meeting at Representative Banner Blue place, and we're doing rotation of these meetings. We're doing so that the lawmaker of the district can be empowered, especially through the caucus unity and oversight. Then they can bring us, we the senators, up to speed. Like in my district, this other one is not happening. Senator, your intervention is also needed. Not necessarily from personal pocket, but from interventions to the county development, county funding and social development funding and all that kind of stuff, or through proper representation through the budget. You understand? Some of these things, like I said, they're not easily trackable because we have not developed an itemized budget through the sector institutions. The government budget should be program-based. But the sector institution should itemize their budget. Then it makes it easier for the lawmakers to track it. But the sector institution will not itemize their budget easily if we the lawmakers, in majority especially, it will not stamp our feet, because it's easy to use or misuse $50 that you just give somebody say go buy rest without telling them
what kind of
rest or how many bags did you buy, and that kind of thing. But if you give it some, and the old money, when our old money went to the market, they can make market listen. Buy one, put it up, green $10 or that kind of thing. That itemized budget. even our own money, we can get a list or they can make market list. Why you think a government institution using public money? Why you think the country can take $800 million budget and only look for how much there for the lawmaker and close the whole book? So, for instance, the legislature budget, a whole branch of government, the budget is $50 million. It sounds alarming. Reduce it. Maybe very, very understandably. But why the country, you notice that the whole country, including you in the media, you don't ask for $750 million. You don't have time for what happened to $750 million in a whole year. You want to take the 500-page budget, look for how much there for the legislature, and close the book and the whole year.
Only the lawmakers.
Yeah. So I'm not putting up a lesser justification or defense for the legislature here. I'm saying we are at a place where look at the legislature alone is in the budget. The budget is $800 million. Civil society people, you in the media on the microphone every day, you only look at that portion for the legislature, and you don't tell the people that JFK got $9 million. You don't tell the people that the education sector got over $100 million, and in that over $100 million, the University of Liberia came from $24 million to $33 million last year, and this year it's $35 million. The public doesn't understand these things. So when they see a lawmaker in a court suit, that the budget money right there.
In the car.
Yeah. That the budget money right there. So, but if you told the people what the budget is, how much each sector has in the budget, and what it should be done, what the purpose for it, and then we the lawmakers stand up and say, why did we give the police budget for the last 6 years was about $20 million. For 3 to 4 years out of the 6 years under President Weah's government, the police budget was about $20 million. 20 million, 2-3 years of the 6 years. 14 million out of the 20 million to pay salary and administration to run the police. 6 million for operation and logistics. 6 million. But when police get one pickup to run somewhere on an emergency, they say, but how the police will get pickup when the lawmakers in their car? Nobody asked for 6 million times 3 years. 6 million for logistics and operation times 3 years, that's 18 million. How many pickups did the police procure with the first 6 million? Handcuff, uniform, other things. The second year, the 6 million. But what you don't have an itemized budget, and you don't have majority legislators standing up for oversight, for accountability, the people will rightfully be the legislator all the time. All the time.
Boakai, before we transition to other things as well, still in the legislature, you went in the legislature with the slogan, to be the light.
Yes.
And we saw during your initial stages up to present, for some of us in the media that follow the legislature every day, we see you one of those persons will bring issues to the floor and demand that said issue or issues be discussed. A lot of the voters, those persons, the people of Monserrate voted, they felt like the question I asked initially, that you have been there for them in the communities, maybe carry on the mini roads projects and other stuff there.
No, they didn't expect that.
I'm saying several other lawmakers have said, your lawmakers have been, I'm trying to appoint something.
No, you can't, your premise can be wrong. They did not expect, because I told them that I won't do it, it's not my function.
So this is the expectations, and that's what I asked. At times,
somebody must be the change.
Do you take offense when people say the lead is off in the house?
No, I don't take offense. Because even when I was running there, some people say no lie. The same people saying no. The same people was saying no lie. That the same people who say the lie.
But let's still on.
What? It depends on the eye that is being used. I know. The same Dillon who went in that Senate is the Dillon today. The same Dillon who went in that Senate. You see, it is upon you two in the media to fact check and provide the proper information. You see, one of the reasons why nobody has brought any clip to say Dillon promised the county $10,000 and he not giving it back, because that's not what I said in context and in effect. I said we all hearing that lawmakers making $15,000 every month, and in my view, every month $15,000 is too much. In fact, $5,000 is okay. So you make me senator and go in there, and it is proven that lawmaker making $15,000 in the monthly salary and everything every month. I will take $5,000. I will give Monserrato $10,000 back. In that same video and everywhere I went, I said if it is $50,000, I will take $5,000 every month and give Monserrato $45,000. If it is $100,000, I will give Monserrato the $95,000. I will take $5,000. If it is $5,100, I will give Monserrato $100 and take $5,000, because $5,000 I always pay my baseline argument. If it is $5,000 and below, then Monserrato gets nothing back from my salary. That is what I said. But what happened, Harry, when I became senator? When I became senator in August 2019, I did not take pay until January 2020. Under the harmonized budget, the national harmonization policy also harmonized the legislature, where the senators came from 15,000 gross to 10,000 gross. And when you take out taxes, then the money is 7,900. It is from that 7,900 I decided that I would take my 5,000, but out 100 on the 2,900 and give Monserrato back 3,000 every month. What did we do with that 3,000 every month? We constituted a district council. The district council had membership from each of the 17 districts. 2 persons from each of the 17 districts. The first thing we did, we went to PHP community and the people there listening. We did intervention with the public health facility there. We refurbished and renovated the public health facility at PHP down the South Beach side. And we put in commodes in the public place there so that people would start defecating on the beach. And we did our dedication and turn it over to the community leadership there. What did we do further? We went to district number 9 at the Central Matadi Mosque. The place there is still open. The mosque asked us to intervene to construct a bathroom facility. When we did, I think 4 bathroom facilities will come out. Those who are Muslim, they understand the religious importance when a bathroom is attached to a mosque. And they asked us, and when we intervened there, what did we do? They right on Joy FM on Newport Street. Joy FM, one of your sister radio stations. Anytime I go over there, they put to lift me up. There's a market, public market on Newport Street that was constructed either in the 70s or late 80s. Nobody touched that market again until I became senator. That money renovated that entire market. Every time I go over there, people will give me pepper and bitter ball free because I give them pepper. We went to district number 17 with former Representative Hassan Kiazulu. We did a hand pump in the corner yard in district number 17, where all the places I name, I don't live there, I live in Caravan. You understand? We went on Ashmore Street. We constructed and purchased a 1,005 plus poly tank to supply safe drinking water to the people of Ashmore Street. It's still there. We were doing these interventions here and there with that 3,000 every month until September 2021, when we formally dedicated the rehab center. And all of you media people were there. When I made the public statement and that dedication, the keynote speaker was the former Vice President of Liberia, Joelle Howard Taylor. She was at that program. The current president of Liberia today, when he was former Vice President under George Weah administration, Joseph Newman Boakai was there and made official remarks. The former Justice Minister, Frank Musa Dean, the former Youth and Sports Minister, Zoga Wesley, and the host of senators and other people, including all the media, including BBC, reported that it was when I stated that the money I given back to Monterey County with these small interventions will be utilized here from today to rehabilitate people from drug addiction and substance abuse. And I'm passionate about it. I'm so proud and happy that our rehab center has graduated 100 persons from drug addiction, and they are clean again, they are whole again, they are in society and becoming productive citizens. And our rehab center has provided opportunity for 17 staff. The salary is not much, but at least it is providing livelihood for 17 persons. Medical director, executive director, clinician, kitchen staff, security, plus the Liberian citizens, whether you are partisan or not, whether you Christian or Muslim or not, will take people in there. Right now, we're on the 6th batch of people who are cleaning for drug. They are all female. The 5th batch was all female. Right now, if you go there, see them when we took them in the last 2-3 weeks, and see them what they are today. We feed them 3 times a day. We clothe them, their medication on us, and everything. It is for me, my salary is redeeming people from drug addiction. My salary can be spreading all over the place, and then people not probably feeding the impact. One family whose son or daughter, loved one, that will rehabilitate from drug addiction, from waywardness, and return them, reintegrate them into society, can be proud asset to the family and productive citizen. Is a big deal. So the reason I had to roll over all of this again is because people, oh, you promised Monserrato. Right now they are Christian and Muslim in our place. They are female, but they are Christian and Muslim in our place. No partisan bias in our place. And they are from all walks of life from Monserrato. The first batch of boys that we graduated from that place, 5 came from Bon County. I'm not senator of Bon County, but I rehab center and my salary, and thanks to friends and supporters who still contribute toward the upkeep of the place. But my salary, if it was political, I won't be taking people from Bon, from Magibi, from Kidman, and to get them in a place. Once you are a Liberian citizen,
Okay,
my salary can help you kill you.
All right, Senator. We'll ask two more questions. Harris, you want to start from your end, or Tina, you want to?
Yeah, I would love to begin.
So when people are coming, Harry. So when people talk about the salary, they don't have argument. Anytime you people ask me my salary, that they people who didn't want me to be senator first. So and when people keep dwelling on one thing over, it means nothing new there. Nothing new.
I have 2 questions. Now, firstly, we'll begin with your Liberty Party.
Yeah.
Some weeks ago, if not months, we followed up your party. The party decided to reconcile and come together as a one group or as a one body. That the Liberty Party we knew sometimes during the late Councillor Bromskin would be the very Liberty Party. Thankfully, you went through that process, and we saw a reconciliation program was held. I'm concerned that following that, a lot of political figures who congratulate the Liberty Party, will express congratulations to the Liberty Party for the reconciliation move. Unlike the Unity Party that you in bed with politically, we didn't see the official statement from the from the Unity Party congratulating the Liberty Party for the reconciliation efforts. I mean, what's it concerning to you, sir?
What was concerning to us at Liberty Party, and our focus is to reconcile our party, rebrand the party, grow the party, and make it ready for governance. That is our focus.
It appears as an offense. You have, you are in a political arrangement with the Unity Party.
But you don't want
the Liberty Party has been there always.
But you don't want looking for the offense.
No,
you don't want looking for the offense. Our focus has been and is reconcile our party, rebrand it, grow it, and prepare it for governance in keeping with the original vision for the founding of the party. Liberty Party was not founded to be endorsing and be subservient all of the time. When the political situation and political environment at the time dictate that we take certain strategic political position in the interest of the country as we deem, we will do so because politics is not static, it's dynamic. When the environment calls for aligning and realigning, we will be politically strategic to do that. Our focus, our party has been in disarray. We sought to reconcile the party, make it whole again, make it a vibrant, democratic political institution in keeping with the vision of the party, and prepare to govern this country. Nothing can distract us from that.
Were you not bothered by the Unity Party silence?
Unless you want to make it an issue, Liberty Party is reconciled. We have one national chairman, Yekeh Kolubah, who is representative District Number 1, Montserrat County. We have our political leader, who is the pro tem of the Senate, Senator Nyombi Kanga Lawrence of Grand Bassa County. We have one slate of national leadership at the Election Commission and recognized under the law by the Election Commission. And we're having series of activities to rebrand and awaken the spirit of our partisans. And even though our partisans are not forming queue and with big political stunt to pay dues, but take a visit at the party headquarters, people walk in and pay the due, and people walk in there and do different contributions to the party. That is our focus. That should be our focus. Harry, don't be looking for confusion where no confusion.
My last question, Boakai, before on this conversation. We talked about respect for the presidency, and this I want to believe is for both other past or current leaders. The last time I listened to you on an interview, I voicefully endorsing the outburst of Representative Yekeh Kolubah. The last time I listened, you said Yekeh has not changed. Which means, in essence, it is an affirmation that Liberians should continue to accept and embrace Yekeh. We saw a disturbing outburst. The last time we saw it at the Ministry of Information, the government official mouthpiece, as well in return, were doing same to the former president, dwelling on disrespect for the presidency. And a lot of us are concerned as to, Senator, is this not a matter for this country where leaders, whether past and present, don't have respect for the president?
Look, let me say this again. One time, somebody asked me, Dillon, you can't respond to Yekeh. I said no. They say you're scared of Yekeh. Okay, I agree. I afraid of Yekeh.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree.
So, if you don't understand sarcasm, there you go. So, here's the thing. You see, I'm not a perfect human being, but I got conscience. You know, some people say, oh, they don't quick to apologize, quick to say sorry. Because the country ain't used to it now. It's not good to just be saying sorry. It's not good as a leader to be, making mistake or, falling in because you say sorry. But as a human being, if it happens, you brush it off, you move on. In a country, for national leaders to acknowledge wrong and say sorry, it's not normal. So you got some conscience, some remorse to do it. You don't want to take a beating for it. Now, to answer your question, I got conscience enough to know that I do not have no moral standing to criticize Yekeh. That's my point I was making. When Yekeh was disrespecting and insulting President Weah yesterday, the same way we lifted a hand to go re-elect him. Yekeh only changed Joe Weah's name to Joseph Boakai name. You think I like it? No. do I condemn Yekeh? Am I in the right place to condemn Yekeh today for doing the same thing that he did to President Weah when it was an incentive for us to lift his hand up to re-elect him? So, what I was saying, Yekeh himself, he changed that his fan base flipped. Citizens were very with him yesterday. Rescue mission people were happy yesterday. Today, rescue mission people not happy, citizens happy. So that his fan base flipped. But Yekeh stay Yekeh. He just changed all we are name, put Boakai name and do the same thing. But Yekeh is a smart guy. You put Yekeh in the room for 30 minutes to discuss critical issue with his input. You won't know that he in the room until somebody sneezes or cough. Then they won't tell you.
Wow.
They wouldn't tell district number 10 can know their representative went to work. Yeah. They go Yekeh also, you know. You know. So Yekeh understand his game. It left to the Liberian people to understand his game and place him where he belongs. But for me, to condemn Yekeh, it hurts me when he does it to Boakai. The same way he used to hurt citizens when he was doing it to George Weah. But when we were in opposition with Yekeh, we did.
It was lovely.
I used to say, I let it way Yekeh talk, but then you put a pot there, and you know the cushion. The day we endorsed Yekeh as our candidate in district number 10, all of us on the rescue mission were on the stage. When Yekeh came to deal with George Weah. Oh, George Weah Jigato. Oh, George Weah this and that. And all our clapping. Yekeh ain't changed. That his fan base flip. Yekeh know his game. And if you don't understand his game, and you don't defeat into his game, then that's his business. As a national leader, should we be insulting? You know, Yekeh is like Yekeh is the opposite of my younger brother Martin Kollie. Martin Kollie is the educated version of Yekeh. They have a responsibility, they can run away from the young men. The educated version of give Martin Kollie responsibility, national responsibility. All the things you're talking, whole day you're writing. Can't let change it. You run away from it. But you see that I want to correct. No. Yeah. So that is why I don't respond. I don't respond to those people. They exercising their right. And sometimes they're doing a good job too. But sometimes they manner. Yekeh is standing up for what Yekeh believes. And when he makes sense, we should agree. If Yekeh exposes corruption, and it's true, what he caused in exposing the corruption, while we frowning on the cousin, let's look at the thing he's talking. If it makes sense, let's take the sense of it and correct it. You understand? The same thing with Martin Kollie. Martin Kollie has all responsibility. Martin Kollie is on asylum status. Nobody wants, George Weah government, quote unquote, wanted to kill him. And when you're on asylum status, you go to school free, you eat free, you live free.
So you want to continue?
Yeah, and because the government, so that they want review his asylum status for him to be a regular resident or go through the record of going through to become either a resident or you come back home. Bam! He turn to advocate against the government. Then every time he say, I'm Martin Kollie, I'm ready for ESA. Who put you on ESA in the government? So people who don't understand these political games and things, you take your own interest and make it so that you fight the country's interest, blah, blah, blah. I don't waste my time behind those people. But some of the things they can be talking, some of the things they can expose. It makes sense for us to correct them. Just because you let the person who's saying it does not mean the person is always saying the wrong thing.
Okay.
Your two questions.
Yeah. Let's move to the concession agreement. Senator, you have been around for a long time, and I guess that you are aware of some of the concession agreement.
Yes.
I listened to Senator Momo Cyrus the other day blaming past senators for signing wrongful concession agreement and have no impact on the life of citizens. Have there been any discussion to revisit some of the concession agreements?
Yes, we are having discussions. We're waiting for time to review. You see, what people don't understand, and the legislature has its own share of the responsibility. Because you can't put everything on the executive. But concession agreement, an agreement signed between two parties. The executive representing the government of Liberia and the concessionaire. The legislature does not sign concession agreement. The legislature does not negotiate concession agreement. The legislature does not enter into concession agreement. The legislature ratifies the contract when it is already signed between the two parties, the executive representing the government of Liberia and the company. The reason the legislature will ratify it when it has tax issue and it has international implication and all that stuff, so it can be binding under the laws of Liberia. So when we do ratification of an agreement, the legislature can either say yes as it is, or no, we don't agree to the other one, and we send it back to the executive to go certify what we don't agree with. But by ourselves as a legislative body, we can't change anything because it's not a contract between the legislature and that company. It is a contract between the government of Liberia represented by and through the executive branch. The legislature ratifies. So when the legislature ratifies, I mean the legislature is also part of it.
Okay.
You understand? So when if APM terminal agreement, for instance, the current legislature inherited it, but continuity takes hold here. And this concession agreement have time frame, and then in between when to review. When it is time to review, I'm hoping that this legislature, especially the way I'm hearing my colleagues, I just hope when the time comes for the review period, where for extension and other things, like ArcelorMittal agreement is coming before us. In 2021-2022, President Weah sent ArcelorMittal agreement before the Senate. And some of us were there. And for the first time, we raised issue for the Senate to constitute a Senate committee to do on-the-spot inspection of this, of the performance of ArcelorMittal. Have you built hospitals? How many Liberians have you actually employed? Have you met your portion of the agreement? If you have not, why? If so, then we can't extend it. We went to Grand Bassa, we went to Bong, we went to Nimba as a Senate committee. We met with the citizens. We heard from them. We met with ArcelorMittal. We went on the spot to inspect. ArcelorMittal had not built a concentrator. The concentrator plant, the concentrator is a plant that's supposed to, when you put the raw iron ore material inside, it's supposed to separate the iron ore, the real iron ore, from any other thing that not iron ore. It's supposed to separate it. It's supposed to build it. Why is that important? Because if you just take the iron ore and put it in shape and carry it, when the people go do the concentration of the raw iron ore they carry, plenty different mineral they can find. Enough for them actually, because the agreement said they only take iron ore from here. And you see, raw iron ore from here. But if you do the concentrator, the plant here, and you sift it, you put the iron ore one side, any other thing that not iron ore, enough for metal steel or ArcelorMittal, if for the government of Liberia. Some of gold can be there, some of diamond, some of different mineral. But we are being shortchanged if we don't. So at that time, ArcelorMittal had not built a concentrator. So we stood up now and said, we will not extend this agreement because housing facility, you haven't done anything. You have not done medical facility. You've been here since 2006, operating from 2011 thereabout, and you have not done all of these things. So what guarantees us, why should we extend you by another 25 years, especially by 2021 when ArcelorMittal still had 9 more years on her agreement. So we stopped it at the legislature. I'm coming. Now, if we can roll like that, because our ACL they oversight effectively on ArcelorMittal, so now this government Our own rescue government is reviewing the ArcelorMittal TER agreement to send it to us under the rescue mission. We want to see why our own government negotiating with ArcelorMittal and what they want to give to ArcelorMittal in favor of the country and in favor of ArcelorMittal. Then we, the legislature, we will decide. The same with CTN.
CTN, yeah.
CTN. All the thing we talk about CTN and METEC. CTN, METEC, those two deals were not ratified by the legislature. They did not reach the legislature for ratification. Why? Only God wants us. All the rescue government are here that will not negotiate to the terms and agreement. So you see, it is the executive function that it is functioning. Okay. Review CTN, renegotiate the terms and all that thing. The legislature is on break. We're returning in May. The people who did CTN, why they haven't sent it to us? If it meet the threshold for the legislative intervention, they will have to tell us. And we, the lawmakers, especially of rescue mission, I want to see our action on CTN. On CTN. One reason.
Just a follow-up to my question before we get to the next question. A few days ago, you called on the Labor Minister relating to the work permit given to foreigners. Have there been any way, I think, address a concern relating to the work permit that were given out? What I listened to you talk about the foreigners who are truck drivers making 3,000 and Liberians are making 600. Have there been addressed to your concern?
So here's the thing. You hear what people say? The lawmaker then want job, this and that. Anyway, one of the ways you see when we ratify some of these concession agreements, and Boakai and all of you, Harry, we will extend the time.
Yeah,
I will pay for the airtime.
You get the time. Our marriage is here.
Don't pay for the time.
I will pay for the airtime up to 10:30 or 10:45, up to 11.
Okay.
I want to interact with the people today. Let them deal with me. Let them.
So another 1 hour have been added, folks, so that the business department take note of that.
I'm smiling now.
Yeah. So yeah.
Some of the reasons that some of the things that can inform the legislators to ratify some of these agreements is because some of these agreements come with opportunity to provide jobs. So when we're ratifying Biochico agreement, and one of the things I carry to the legislature, if you notice, a half of them to say I like this we in it. But I'm deliberately saying one of the things successfully I took to the Senate especially, and thankfully the legislators agreed, all of us agree in the Senate, that we will vote on the record on crucial national issue and no more yea and nay business, unless it is procedural, adopting agenda, blah blah. But once we pass confirming people voting to pass on concession agreements, ratification, we're voting on the record. So nobody can say I vote that day or I voted no when they voted yes. You can't flip your vote after finishing voting. You can't change it in the public, call the record, we vote on the record. They call your name, they call your country, and you say yes or no, or if you're absent, they mark absent. So when we're ratifying the Biochico agreement in Bapolo County, it is clear on the record that I did not vote to ratify Biochico. But that's not the issue here right now. The Senate in majority ratify Biochico. So it is legal under our law. But here is the thing. One of the things that the late Senator Daniel Nathan, peace be to his ashes, and current Senator Boakai appealed to all of us, to our conscience at that time, was no job in Babolo County. This company coming to Babylon County to provide 500 to 1,000 jobs for our people. You know what it means to provide, to have 500 to 1,000 private sector jobs, company jobs in the county of Babylon? It's a big deal. So part of that thing also informed the Senate their decision to vote. Now, I brought Chico in to tell you what role the lawmakers can play to help to provide jobs for people outside government. Then when you pass Chico, you happy that about 500 to 1,000 jobs and will be provided through Chico in Babylon County. Then we also make provision in the Decent Work Law, the Decent Work Act, that the Minister of Labor should issue regulation and publication not to give certain jobs to non-Liberians. You see what we've done?
Yeah.
We ratify one concession that's how to provide up to 1,000 jobs. Then we tighten the button so that those 1,000 jobs, at least majority should be for Liberia, should be for Liberia, and we're protecting it by the action we're taking under the Decent Work Act. You understand? So the Minister of Labor, whoever the minister is from time to time, is under obligation to go by that law, not to give carpentry job to non-Liberians, especially if you can find Liberians and they are available for that carpentry job. Not to give plumbing job, driving job, electrical job, accounting job, any job, technical job, or what, that Liberians are qualified and available to do. Don't give it to non-Liberians. But if the Minister of Labor, just imagine if the Minister of Labor gave 300 work permits to Bao Chico, if we have not provided, in our 500 job, Bao Chico is supposed to provide through the concession.
300 go already.
Then the executive, because where the labor minister is,
The executive.
under the executive, that means the legislature took action to create the environment so that 500 Liberians can get jobs, for instance. Then the executive get 300 work permits for that same job. Who are giving the job that we are banned for Liberia? Oh, it is the executive through the labor minister. And how much for work permit? $1,000 per work permit. $1,000 per work permit. Some of the jobs that you get a work permit offer, some of the jobs paying $3,000, $4,000 per month. The work permit are $1,000 for a whole year. So you get a foreigner a job for 1 year, so he or she can make $3,000 to $4,000 every month. Imagine if you get that same job to a Liberian who lives here and making $3,000 to $4,000 in the private sector. They will pay taxes. They will be able to feed their children. They can be able maybe to open their business. They can employ other people. The money will stay here. It will circulate in the economy. And then the government will generate more than that $1,000. You understand? And these are the reasoning behind small action in the legislature. But the problem we have, even as the legislature, after taking all the good faith action, we can find a number to pass the law there. The number to hold the executive accountable. That will make the people say we the cause the suffering and the people right. Because you made law. You created an environment for people to get jobs. Then the executive get a job because the executive more concerned about that $1,000 per work permit to contribute to the budget. You depriving Liberia. At Western Cluster, when we called the labor minister on my insistence, I insisted. Currently, the labor ministry has given us 8,700 plus work permit. 8,700 plus. 8,700 plus.
Across the country?
Across the country. 8,000. And that is 4 or 5 months ago when the labor minister...
Oh!
Put a mission quick.
You have to put a mission on. It little 700,000. Oh, wow. Go ahead, Pass the car back. You have to leave off
Let's move.
Maybe you never meet them. Yeah.
Yeah, you know the issue of money.
What happened with your mission? And I was in the Capitol bed now. Oh, Carmen gone, the place down. The media, that will be reporting live.
You have seen technical problem.
Yeah, you have said technical problem.
Folks, we are sorry for that little break in our transmission. Sorry for that little technical problem. They said us yeah, they said us you come and say technical problem.
You have said technical problem. You have to the
I hope I'm not impressed
Not impressed at all. Yeah, but it's good. The conversation is moving on smoothly this morning. You are answering to the issue about work permit. You want to continue?
Yes, sure. So, the Labor Ministry has issued 8,700 work permits. And understandably, some are granted for humanitarian purposes. Some of these aid, NGO, intervention there. Some understandably. But Chief, the Minister of Labor failed to tell us which category. They got the name of the people, the business that they with, or the entity they with, and the nationality. But what the Labor Ministry deliberately did not put in a column, which category the person working in. Because if you see carpenter or carpentry or plumbing or driver, then you know that he's in violation.
Yeah.
You understand? So he deliberately left that column up. It is that column that I have been on the floor almost every session demanding for. Until recently before we close, majority of my colleagues started to see reason with me. I'm out of corner every floor. Natana McGill. You need the Daba Fapula Nyantwanya. All of us now. And have now we people getting to understand that if you have 4,000 of that 8,000 job given to, you know what it means to get 4,000. So I beat Western Cluster. When we summoned the Labor Minister, he told us that at Western Cluster they have 100 drivers driving the heavy duty trucks and operating their equipment, heavy duty equipment. 55 of those operators and drivers are non-Liberians. 55. 45 are Liberians.
Yes.
Mr. Minister, why did you give work permit to 55 non-Liberians to drive, truck, and operate these equipment? The minister's explanation, which sounded to me reasonable, at least to me, is that the company could not find Liberians qualified to operate this digital heavy-duty equipment and blah, blah, blah. So from time to time, as they find, they will replace the non-Liberians. But the 45 Liberians who are operating the same equipment, technical equipment, they're making 600. And the non-Liberian operating that very technical equipment is making 6,000. I mean 3,000. How possible?
Huge disparity.
The Liberian who is operating that machine got the same skill and education that the non-Liberian has. They're working on the same work hour, the same number of hours, the same days, and operating the same equipment. Why are you paying non-Liberian 3,000 for driving a truck with all the digital buttons, and a Liberian who also get the same skill and qualification driving the same truck, and you paying $600? Mr. Minister, why is that happening? The minister said he himself frowned on it and correcting it. And I'm looking forward that when we return to session, if you're paying a non-Liberian for driving a technical heavy-duty machine for $3,000, and because you can't find the Liberian who you find to operate that same machine in the same hazard area should be paid the same amount. And that is what some of us pushing in the Senate when it comes to the work permit issue. And the work permit issue is taking away jobs from Liberians. And we got to see about it. Now, we are not being xenophobic here. We are not. I'm a senator. My first priority is to seek the interest and well-being of my people that employ us. And when we pass concession agreement, and those concession agreement call for providing job opportunity, then when we start giving the very job opportunity up to non-Liberians for $1,000 work permit fee, then we are not providing any job to our people, and that is wrong.
All right, let me ask my 2 questions, then I'll come back to Harris. The rescue mission that you supported, you brought to power, we saw you canvassing for them, making sure that His Excellency President Joseph Boakai become President of the Republic of Liberia. But let's look at since taking office. Let's begin with the rule of law under this administration. The impasse at the lower house. Then look at Fanatico. I don't know whether he's still with the Liberty Party or he have gone to the city.
What kind of question? I look at the why you force to bring Liberty Party? It's not for any weapon.
They can stay happy in that politics. They make a stake on the top. They make nowhere like home. And you will welcome him. I know that.
Even yourself.
Yeah, so
kind of Liberty Party. You think one
No. Yeah, well, Senator, let's look at the rule of law. And secondly, to this, I want you to address the impasse at the house, the lower house. And secondly, we saw the vice president, the sitting vice president, and other government officials just on yesterday in Nimba County, they respecting our rules, our laws that should govern us. From your standpoint as a senator and somebody that canvassed for this government to come to power, how do you see this?
Which one?
They both. Let's begin with the impact at the lower house and then coming to a sitting vice president, official of government.
What's happening at the lower house is very unfortunate. In the first place, it should not have happened. You know, those who play into this foolishness don't understand the implication and the repercussion on the image of our government. The government is about 15 months old. 7 out of 15 months, there's confusion in the house for speakership. Anybody who does not see this as embarrassment, as even undermining the progress of this government, then they don't understand what governance is. They don't like this president, and it's really selfish. Don't forget, Waka, Harris, Tina. It took us 5 months in the first year of this government to get a national budget to start to run the government on good governance when it comes to fiscal policy. It took pretty close to 6-7 months to get people appointed and placed in positions to start to take the government, put it in shape. And going to the end of the year, somebody won't be speaker, must be speaker. A speaker who came across as being harmless. Yes. A speaker who you want initial war crime court is the first to give you a resolution. A speaker who your budget is before his house is the first to pass it. A speaker who, when they're attacking the president that he's traveling too much, is your voice. A speaker of how sense of reasoning, flexibility. And in fact, it was causing displeasure with citizens. In 1 year, you destabilize or you put the government in disarray to fight for one seat that was harmless. Any group of people from the house who orchestrated this thing, especially from our side, they have not done well by the people.
Richard Koo has not done well.
I don't care who's involved. I'm saying any group of people from our side from the rescue mission who aided, abetted, or initiated this nonsense have not done well for the governance of this country and the image of the Joseph Boakai government and legacy. But we are where we are. We can only hope that the Supreme Court will summon the spine to be definitive and clear. And when the Supreme Court speaks in the practice of law, when the Supreme Court speaks, or when a court of law speaks, all authorities on the practice of good governance must abide. According, you take judicial notice and act accordingly. The Supreme Court itself confused the case than the case itself. First time on earth where the court ruled and everybody said they win. You must know that kind of ruling and confusion.
Everybody celebrating.
Everybody celebrating because the court itself. The court itself confused the case than the case itself. The Supreme Court said, Article 33, when you meet presided over by the Speaker or in the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and you don't reach quorum, you might adjourn from day to day. According to the Constitution, Article 33. The Supreme Court said, when you meet in majority, the Speaker there, or in the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, when you're planted and you're reach quorum, then anything otherwise is ultra viral.
Yeah.
So the majority say, oh, but the Deputy Speaker here because the Speaker absent. I found the majority, that the majority only take from there. They say, oh, the Deputy Speaker here, and when we majority, so we'll do business. The minority say, oh, the Speaker here, but we come so we'll be adjourning.
Everybody celebrating.
Everybody celebrating. The court must muster the spine, the courage, and do justice to this country and be definitive. They said the court will not say who is right or who is wrong, because what is before the court is not about who, it's about what. The law is not about who, the law is about what is right and what is wrong. When the law interprets what is right and you're on the right side, you win. If you're on the wrong side, you lose. Never should the law be about who. That is why they say justice is blind. That is why symbolically, justice is not allowed to see, should not ever see. Because when justice sees, justice has the tendency of being biased, being intimidated, feeding selective, and being influenced and all. But when justice blind, and it's only about what? The law says what? What do you do and how do you do it to remove a speaker? When you do it like that, the Supreme Court says, yeah, what the law says, it was done the right way or it was not done the right way. Simple.
Let me pick on your question quickly. Senator, you have a perspective with the president. You are one of those Liberians that are privileged to see into of the president anytime you want to. I want to believe so. Is it that this matter is also concerning to the president the way it is to you? I mean, a position of very harmless, like in your words, yet the officials from the party endpoint, for those that supported the rescue mission, will do everything to bring this government to where it is now. Is it a matter that the president thinks of as well?
Who will be leading a country? And one branch, half of it is in disarray for months. And people even are affiliating the burning of that building to the crisis in half of the house. Who would not feel it? So there are times the president intervenes because whether we like it or not, people need to go back to Article 50 of the Constitution. They think when they say 3 separate branches of government that in function, but when they talk about government, there's a head. It's clearly seen and defined in Article 50. The executive power of the Republic shall be vested in the president, who shall be what? Head of state, head of government, and commander-in-chief. So there are times where when the 3 branches are involved, the president is head of government. When it comes to representing the interests of the country, like the president travel on state issues, he's the head of state of the country. When it comes to the military and paramilitary, under whose command and control they are, the president is the commander-in-chief. So this president has different roles, and the president is head of government. And you don't ever hear they say Yekeh Kolubah or Martin Kollie government. You don't hear anybody say Nyombi Kanga or Darius Dillon government. Exactly. You don't hear anybody say Patrick Horner or Mo Ali government. They say the Joseph Newman led government, and including Joseph Newman and for short people say JMB and JKK. Yeah. It is the Joseph Newman Boakai and Jeremiah Kwan led government. You will never hear in history that the government was led by Martin Kollie or Yekeh Kolubah. You will never hear in history, under this administration as it is, that the government was led by Nyombi Kanga Lawrence or Darius Dillon. You understand? It is the Joseph Newman Boakai led administration. And in keeping with Article 55 of the Constitution, the president is head of government. When the government is falling apart, when there are issues in a branch of government, once it doesn't have to do with the fiduciary function of that government, like you say, lawmaker making power for lawmaking, the president cannot answer, because then you'll be included in the province of the legislature. But where in the fighting over titles, in breach of the law and building getting point attached to it, and you got to send state police to be parting them, it becoming a national issue where the president can get involved to say, stop, or let me understand what's happening. I don't say who must be speaker, who must not be speaker. If the court, just like the president can get involved as father of the nation and president of the country, to say, let me hear what's happening and why you're doing this, and it undermining the government. And the same way, the court can't say who is speaker or who must be speaker. The court can only say the writing was done in removing the speaker, or the writing was not done in removing the speaker. That's all the court can say. And you see the coordination aspect and the check and balance aspect.
Yeah.
So,
but we need to go to the phone lines.
Yeah, but the president who have had Senator Dillon, Yekeh Kolubah is from the party. Part of the reasons why I asked that question is that if this was concerning to the president would have perhaps talked to Yekeh Kolubah, call him, or perhaps those lawmakers from the party, understanding that he has brought this government to where it is. The president would have perhaps talked to those lawmakers, and this thing wouldn't have reached to where it is. That's what I asked, whether it is concerning to the president.
Chief, we from the rescue mission from the Senate as sir, we know that anything we do that is not right, it will hurt the image of this government and the country. And Joseph Newman Boakai's legacy is on the table here. We elected Joseph Newman Boakai on his character and reputation, his vision, his experience. And our own conduct as rescue missioners must inform us not to hide it. And it will not be about Joseph Newman Boakai as president. It must be about us as citizens, lawmakers, leaders, and about the country. About the country. The legitimacy fight in the House of Representatives and cover my view. The Senate took a decision after the court came up with a confused verdict or ruling, the Senate took a decision that saved this country. Some people ain't get it yet. You know what happened if the Senate has said the horse is in confusion, we are not doing business with either of the groups until they put the horse in order? Boakai, Harry, since December, this country will not have budget. The government will not have budget. We can't pay civil servant salary. We can't pay security people. We can't pay contractors who are doing the roads and other things. Nothing for the government to run on because group of people in the House of Representatives decide that they will do it their own way and don't care, even if you are from the rescue mission, don't care for the image of the government, don't care for the legacy of Boakai, who will fight for our seat. Anyhow, it ends that A. But the Senate, and including some opposition senators, reason when they say the House of Elders, we give stability to this country and the government by the decision we took by the Supreme Court from the Supreme Court ruling that were in confusion. The Supreme Court said when the people in majority and the speaker there, or in the after the speaker, the deputy speaker is there, and the in majority, no problem. In fact, that what the Supreme Court ruling was viewed to have said, they said when the in minority, the speaker there, or in her absence, the deputy speaker there, they can't do business because the in minority, the majority. What the Supreme Court did not do, and it failed to do, the Supreme Court did not define what constitutes absence of the speaker. Because if the Supreme Court had defined what constitutes absence of the speaker, for which the deputy speaker can preside, then we are going to take another step. But the Supreme Court failed deliberately, in my view, to define what constitutes the absence of the speaker. So when the Senate looked, the country had to run, the government had to function. When the Senate looked, there was a majority somewhere, and in the absence of the deputy of the speaker, as deemed by the majority, the deputy speaker was there. So the Senate decided to do business with the majority black to get the government smooth sailing running. Anything short of that. You know what it means not to pay security people, health workers, civil servants, teachers, all these contracts that are going on, goods and services to government, the public welfare ministry, it's all over the place. If the Senate had not early taken an early wise decision to allow the government to function, the people who did that thing in the House, they were going to start on the entire country.
Boakai, quickly before we take the course, one point a lot of Liberians have heard, Senator, is that what if the Supreme Court's ruling come out, dependent ruling, and provides that the leadership of Rachel Kolubah, on whose jurisdiction as well this budget was passed, that leadership is ineffective or it was against the very constitution, and that the House should return and fanatically fight the speaker from the ruling. What becomes of the budget? Because a lot of Liberians think that now that if the Supreme Court would nullify the leadership of Rachel Kolubah, means that whatever he did on his leadership will also be nullified.
The Supreme Court will say what the law says and what is right and what is wrong. And if it comes definitive and very clear, the Senate will take appropriate action.
Which means the budget?
But man, you see, me a little answer speak.
Let's go to the phone lines.
Once the Supreme Court comes clean, the Senate will take appropriate action.
0778-665-699 or 0880-561-644. Let's go to the phone line and take our first caller here quickly. Good morning.
Good morning, BK, and good morning to Harris, and good morning to the Ex-President Senator of Ebe Darius Dillon.
Welcome.
My name is Josiah Smooth for me for the Governor Peace Alley. Governor called 540.
Okay.
You know what, Dillon, let me say thank you. I want the person that can pay and have followed you. You just said it right. You know someone that brand fee, when we say the same boy, Representative Weah, you should put money on the pocket. You should give me $500 when you put money. They are no Senator Dillon working. But when Senator Dillon, it's a meeting. The public minister, after the money will allocate to you, why you deal with wrong rehabilitations? The health care did not access it. The money will allocate to you, why you deal with her? opposite friend to JFK. When they ask you education, why you tell the budget given you? Come and tell us because we are representing our people. That's a mark of a representation.
Okay.
So on the Dillon, let me say thank you for the real center. Let me say thank you for the time you took to work with the majority of the world economy forward. Now that's the work of the oversight.
Okay.
We follow some of you people.
All right. Thank you so much, my brother. Let's take another person here quickly. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Doing pretty well. Your name is joining us from?
This is Martin Kollie, member of the Senate and Movement Liberia.
Okay.
I want to commend the senator. Disagree with him the explanation that he's making on behalf of the Liberian people in Liberia. More especially what happened currently in the legislature. It's just an issue because following on okay that they are trying to call that about Group 2. I want to commend it because in the past setting, good people there to recognize the right thing or the wrongful thing. But on the private sector, the Senator Dillon, over 1 million elected by the Liberian people, based the interest and the poor in him. But the Labour Minister has identified foreign interest and appoint a key to the Liberian people. He's not seeking the interest of God.
Okay.
All the support that we support all broker party makers in the private sector almost 20 years. What the impact that we are making?
Okay. Thank you. All right, thank you so much. Let's take somebody from the United States. Tom Will, good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Boakai, and good morning to all the hosts and the Senator of Montserrat County, His Honorable Darius Dillon. I listened to Senator Dillon, and I'm still very, very discouraged when he measures something. And this is it. Since 2006, Aslam Meta into Liberia, they should have built a concentrator to focus on the mineral, the sound law with the Liberian government. Imagine, I won't say that down to address it, but imagine since 2006, there is no accountability as it relates to our resources, which one was signed for as an agreement and which one should not be touched. Unfortunately, since 2006, fortunately, the dead money lawlessly. That's what I would tell me. No question to Senator Dillon. What if we are rectifying law as a lawmaker in general? Is there any clause placed in the concession that talks about violation and punishment?
Okay.
Those concession agreement, any law that hold, and we don't do this. Like you should have built a concentrator so that the Liberian people resources can be properly managed and kept secure.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, my brother. Your question gone across already. Let's take this person here quickly. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Harry. And let me say good morning to Tina and Dara for Boakai. This is someone Yekeh from Boakai. Let me say good morning to the senator. I not the starting word he spoke or he explained, but I understood few questions we're asking him to respond to them and look at the update and the effect to the government. So, with all due respect, some of our law, even direct the law, is still in our heart. But here is the thing, right? If you listen to even direct the law, or with the law rather, sorry, respond to the question that you emerge with the United Party and you brought the government of power. What is your statement? He said that we're not meant to be anybody mercy and supporting people and all of that. They tell me that it's still not body in the party, which is not correct.
Okay.
If everyone is direct below, they almost can respond to a question about the impact of the legislature. You mentioned about rotation, he said he cares less about who involved to tell me that there is something from the angle of the executive that he did not satisfy with.
Okay, thank you so much. You finished deciding for the bill already. Let's take another person. Good morning, welcome, Alfred.
Yeah, good morning, Boakai, and let me say good morning to Senator Abe Darius Dillon. One thing I want to speak on, I think the Senator touch has to do with the issue of the budget.
Boakai, one of the reasons why the country is one of the most corrupt countries is our budgetary system here. And because of the budgetary system, you find out that in the area of procurement is where most of the corruption will take place. Because if the budget they change from the cash and the land item budget to program-based budget, like he said, what will happen to Liberia is that the first thing there will be transparency. Because in that budget that he talk about, you will see a clearer picture of performance, which has to do with revenue and cost as well. It will also improve resource allocation. Okay? Resources will be allocated based on the value of money. Then more besides, it means that Liberia people now will be focused on the issue of results and outcome. Rather than because as the budget stands right now, all people, everything government will have to do with tracking of expenses. But with program-based budget, you're not only be tracking expenses, you also be evaluating to know the value of money.
Okay.
So all right. The other folks that he colleague and listen to him, so our budgetary system can be changed to program-based budget.
Okay. Thank you so much. We take like 3 more calls. Then we'll cross over to the senator. 0778-665-699. Let's come back to the line and take this person. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. Yeah, good morning. Welcome.
Thank you, Boakai. Let me say good morning to your very police studio. This is Kollie. And I joined this conversation from this city. Let me say good morning. Thank you. Let me say good morning to Senator Dillon. I have 2 questions for you quickly. Question number Senator Dillon. You people are 2 senators in Montserrat County. Why you think that the other senators is not involved or in the media for the wrong reason, but only you? It is because that or your liking of building propaganda team or your if it's because I come to the radio or the media, for me I believe you appear on the media then even the other senator. Therefore you believe in the system change of the government state of the country.
You want for the men to hire you again?
The color brigade. No, my second question to you. No, now we all political parties, the ANC who does not vote Kennedy or feed Kennedy in him after this or other
I don't know. Kollie, sorry, man, you're lying. They're not asking which candidate they wanted party we support them. But let's take this person as our last question. Yeah, good morning, welcome.
Hello.
Good morning, welcome.
Yeah, Honorable Kamara, am I clear?
Go ahead, you are live.
Good morning to you guys, good morning to our senator, the light, you always remain number 1. I'm the rescue chairman for Short Critical Momo Johnson. Look, like I share your post that Liberians should get ready to listen and drink from the cup of wisdom. Senator Dillon, you have said it all. And Waka, it is a mandate from the rescue chairman to replay the show tonight. My recommendation is due to...
You pay for the airtime?
I will pay for that. My appeal to Senator Dillon is that, Senator Dillon, can you, I will do a draft letter tomorrow to get it to your office so that you can help us bring the LACC before the Senate. And that is the Minister of Justice, the sole reason why people who looted this country, they are yet to be prosecuted, they are yet to be called for trial, they are yet to be looked at. They continue to lie, they continue to lie about, they continue to tell that nothing will happen. And I think it is time that the Justice Minister either resign or you're send him to jail or you're send all the LACC people to jail to show reason why they cannot be able to account for for the people that kill in this country.
Thank you. This is our last caller here quickly. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Eli Johnson. I'm calling from SKG Boakai community.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm too happy this morning to talk with the senator because the senator is one person that I took my father for. He was blind and I led him to vote for him. And since then, I never had the opportunity to talk with him. But actually, I heard from Nima County District 6. You know, my disappointment here is Senator Dillon. Please. I want for you people to really check the asthma mental view. It's very frustrating. I'm from Nima, I'm from District 3, the headquarters of District Senator, if you just enter the concession area of Asma Meta, you feel very disappointed. It's very, very disappointing. I mean, and then they just fighting other Google companies that want to come in. They're just fighting. Now, as we speak, we hear about SPS. SPS, we praying that SPS should come to life. But I believe that Asma Meta is just fighting by. I got some reliable information that there are some government officials that own Asma Meta payroll that fighting HPS to not enter. The same thing is done with PhD Benetton and PhD Benetton. And one person that working with PhD Benetton. PhD Benetton made me to pay us for the soccer more. Where is sitting today talking? PhD Benetton made me to pay us here. I only work for completely 3 years. I want to pay us on the soccer more. But I bet you can't work for Asma Meta for 3 years and pay us. I mean, I got most of my colleagues there working. I went there to look for jobs. There's no way. In fact, I for Nima, where the operating is my home. I mean, it's my district. It's a 3-4 indicator. I was not able to get jobs, and right now I'm in Morovia here. So, I mean, it's very disappointing that the senator should try by all means and fight for we that voted for him. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Senator.
Well, thank you. Let me say thank you to the callers, those who listen. I was just following my social media page. Obviously, I should post the number. You're all following my page. I'm in the people's studio, so I can't post. I don't have control over that number. And thankfully, say it ain't happened before they say the callers are
Yeah.
But look, I want to thank the callers and start with the last caller. Asma Meta, like any other company that already existing in Liberia, for us to extend or renew the contract, we must see performance. And I want to I want to sound the note now. If Asma Meta can show me that they built a medical facility, if Asma Meta can convince me about a functional concentrator, if Asma Meta can convince me that they have provided livable housing facility for our people, not the continual thing that they prepare to put our people in their concession area. If they can demonstrate to me that they have performed on the first 2 agreements, and if they have not, why convincingly, I'm going to vote no. And in the Asma agreement, if Asma wants to take full control or advantageous asset to our railroad that will discourage other companies from coming, that national asset, I'm going to vote no. We got to think of the outside the box. We got to be futuristic in our thoughts. And we got to be deliberate and intentional about it. Anything you want to do in the country, somebody say in that time, like, a good but in that time. That is why we never reach that time that anything was good.
Exactly.
Anything you want to do in the country, they say, oh, that is talking a good but in that time, as a result, nothing is timely in the country. You see how the country just indiscipline, everybody politics. I heard you guys this morning talking about why citizens go do payment. That your business? That your business? You put paying the due happily. Other people in different parties paying the dues, but they're not in line. They don't put a camera all over the place to show that they're paying dues. But citizens are happy like that. Leave them. Citizens, like any political party, will want state power or won't come back to power. The only incentive to discourage them that performance by this government. In 2019, when I won the election by the blessing of the people, 2019 election was difficult for me. George Weah popular, Monserrato, his stronghold, anybody he brought will win. 2019 election was challenging, but we won. So then I knew there was another election in for me. So I made 2020 election easy by what I did 2019. The first 2 months I entered office, we shook this country, and people were craving for 2020 to come. When CDC said, oh, you'll be the shortest serving senator, people were, in fact, people were anxious to extend us in office. We as a government should have taken 1 year to decimate CDC.
1 year.
We should have taken 2024 to silence CDC. But our performance is the reason why George we are doing video. And that's involved. Our performance is the reason why CDC believe that 2029 is tomorrow morning. So they let them go pay our due quick. It was doing. You understand? It is our performance that make. Look, and I got to clarify this thing. Prosecution is not sentimental, it's not feelings, it's not partisan sentiment.
For sure.
You can't ask us to respect the rule of law, and when we're respecting the rule of law, then you think we're not doing anything. The prosecution of Samuel Tuah and other former officials, they are in the court. The crime they charge them with, they are bailable offenses. And respect for the rule of law says when you charge somebody with a crime that is bailable and the person filed a bail bond, you can't deny them. Just because Samuel Tuah they're not in handcuffs as South Beach, does that mean we're not prosecuting? We're prosecuting. But we're respecting the rule of law at the same time. They are not charged with murder. They are not charged with treason. They are not charged with non-bailable offenses. All the acts that they are charged with, they are bailable offenses. So, once you honor bail bond and the presumption of your innocence until proven guilty, you are exercising it. You can go to your political party headquarters. There's somewhere to it. You can move around. What kind of country? The LSCC send for people, citizen carry placards, citizen united to defend corrupt people. But who did they say government official corrupt? Like the church can refuse nothing from corrupt government official. We who in the churches, you not see any church shame us. Every day you hear on the pulpit, government official corrupt, the lawmaker then care for themselves. You not see any church or mosque refuse anything, shame any other say, you're too corrupt, we want your money, you carry corrupt money, we don't want it yet. Shame us when? You don't see any civil society or any community group who they government official corrupt and they did and that. You don't see any moral group say, we say you're corrupt, we won't fasten for you because the way you're getting the money is not correct. The whole society, we just need to change our mindset. People can't go to office and deliberately decide that they will be bad. Whole day you open the radio, government official corrupt, you working in government, so now you want to pay all that corruption. And you pay all you in government, by the time you move on and say that I want to office, you do nothing for yourself. I mean, what kind of country you understand? But you see, prosecution must take place. It must never, I will never back malicious political prosecution. Prosecution is about the evidence that you can prove beyond reasonable doubt that can convict somebody. Not because of partisan feeling, not because of emotion. It's just that you go to election, you can't carry your feeling of being cheated to the court. I came to the court, I think they cheated me, I feel like I was cheated. No, the court can't hear that case, and you even the court entertain it, you can't win it because feelings can win case. Like evidence. Oh, you got people getting to court. Oh, if your opponent walking free, that's what they're talking. We charge people with murder, we charge them with treason, we charge them with non-bailable offenses. You understand? We charge them with appropriate crimes that we believe the crime that they committed. And those charges are bailable, then they file a bail bond and they also. When LSCC send for people, investigation too takes time. I don't want to advise our security people, especially state investigators and prosecutors. Don't rush to arrest people. Just because the public think it must happen, just because people feeling that it must happen, just because the sentiment that it must happen, don't rush to arrest people. Because when you rush to arrest people on sentiment,
with no evidence.
Any country, other countries, the day they can arrest you, forget it. They're going to charge you straight. They're not going to investigate you again. Because they have done all of the investigation. The day they come, they issue writ of arrest for you, your warrant, and they're coming for you. That court, now they arraigning you before court. What happened when the fire, unfortunate fire thing happened at the Capitol building? Start sending for photo, photo there.
Yeah.
Because somebody doctor one video that he made long time ago and link it to the Sunny. And the police now, personal interest. When you do that, you dilute the credibility of the criminal investigation. Look, and I'm not boasting, I'm not arrogant. I was in the prosecutorial arm of government for 11 solid years in our justice ministry. In criminal investigation, prosecution, whether civil or criminal, I've been involved with it. I was not sweeping for many years in the justice ministry. I was not in the maintenance department. I was the special assistant to the Solicitor General. And the office of the Solicitor General is almost like the law firm of the government. Every case that government is involved with, the Solicitor General has to be involved with it, or knowledge of, and can get direction. So, criminal prosecution is not feelings. And we shouldn't just be running behind people, because we must go after people who did bad to this country or who we accuse of doing bad. But before going after them, we must have the evidence. Because every time you don't have the evidence and you go after people and the law free them, then you think they either bribe the judge, or you think the court system is weak, or you think prosecution. Look, thank you, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Folks, there's no more time. We are out of time already, and thanks to maybe not the people call him honorable.
My Tara Dillon. You know the chairman? I let the chairman more than you. The chairman want to just see the Tara Dillon. Let us see that. It's not the honorable. Forget it. It's not the honorable kind of yellow. No, not the respect. Anything yellow honorable. Hey, me, you got to do having said that.
Okay, folks, we'll be back here tomorrow morning for Brain Edition. Thanks so much for coming, Mr. Darius Dillon.